everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay or Wait, and today I am going to be talking about the season finale, or should I say, the series finale of Wandavision, episode 9. So, they cut right to the chase in this episode, which was just like, guys, that's all I've been asking for. Just give me a little bit more action. Give me a lot of stuff happening that I can't even keep up because there's just so much happening on my television screen right now. And I will have to say, for the most part, they accomplished that. But I think also, too, because I just let go of all of my expectations. I let go of all of the theories. I know you guys are probably hurt this week when you realize not only is the delivery guy just a regular delivery guy trying to deliver his pizzas, but Daddy is just a regular person as well. I know that had to hurt a lot of you. There was a lot of speculation as to who Daddy was. Is she a witch? Is she someone else? Daddy is just Daddy. Daddy was just trying to get back to just take care of her kid, to hold her kid. So I'm glad that the people of the town of Westview has their peace now, but getting into this episode, we see that we pick up from where we left off last week, where basically Agatha had Wanda's children in a little chokehold. And I was like, nah, ma'am, there's one thing that we don't play with. We don't mess with family, but most importantly, we don't play with people's kids. So obviously this sparked a reaction out of Wanda. She was trying to hit her with her magic. And I was like, but sis, I know that you weren't privy to the opening of last week's episode, but when you do that, all she's doing is absorbing your power, sweetie. So then she can knock it right back at you. And when I say that Agatha knocked Wanda the hell out. She did. I was just like, girl, you got knocked. I can't say what I really want to say, but you know that scene from Friday? That's what I wanted to say to her, because I was like, Agatha hit you with a hard one. But I thought it was really cute when after Wanda hits her with a car, that they do kind of like the little witch's shoes sticking out, kind of giving, I think of Wizard of Oz, or you can think Wicked. But I also want to point out that my years of watching Charmed, okay, over all of these years, it has prepared me for this moment in WandaVision today, okay? Because when I heard Harbinger of Chaos, I said, guys, I know what a Harbinger is, okay? I don't even have to connect this to the Marvel Universe, because I have watched the OG Charm, the new Charm, even the Charm when they replaced one of the OG people. I know what a Harbinger is, and I felt really proud of myself. So I wanted to share that moment with you. And if you guys watch Charm too, I want to make sure that you had your moment too. But we see that Vision shows up. Well, White Vision shows up, and I was like, he looked like he was having a moment with Wanda. So I was like, okay, like, Vision, I don't feel like this is the time to be doing all of this. But I was like, okay, well, I guess they didn't get rid of all of White Vision's emotions. But then when it seemed like he was trying to literally detach her head or like smush her head in, I was like, oh, okay, so he was just playing her real quick. So Wanda looking shook, I'm looking shook, Agatha looking like, well, I mean, if you're gonna do it for me, sis, then go ahead and do it. And so essentially before all of that happens, and then he throws her the personal shade of like, I thought you were powerful. And I was like, girl, you gonna let him talk to you like that and try to kill you at the same time? But her baby daddy, literally, Vision walks in. Well, I guess he's not literally her baby daddy, but we're just gonna let it be baby daddy for this review. But he comes in and basically they ends up starting to fight. So I'm gonna call them White Vision and Hex Vision for the Color Vision. Or I guess I could have just said White Vision and Color Vision, but you guys know what I'm trying to talk about. So they end up here fighting the whole episode, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I was here for the Agatha and the Wanda showdown, but I guess I'm here for Vision and White Vision showdown as well. So let's just see how all of this plays out. So this is giving us most of our action for the majority of the episode. But what I was really confused about, I guess not really confused, but just applying it to the universe of the TV show WandaVision, when Wanda thought she was finna outrun Fietro, I was like, sis, you don't even know what your powers is yet. Now, technically, you are faster than Quicksilver. But in this world, you don't even know what you could do yet. So the fact that you thought you was finna outrun him and make a break for it, I was just confused on so many plethora of labels. But we find out that when you guys are trying to figure out who Ralph was, it was actually Fietro, or not Quicksilver, or I don't know who he's supposed to be at this point, because I guess we're just not going to acknowledge most of the X-Men as I thought we were going to. So he's just Ralph Bonner. I don't know what that means. I'm not even finna break my little brain trying to figure out what the heck is happening with that. I was just like, that's what you want me to roll with? I'm gonna roll with it with you guys, because I'm not doing any more theorizing. But Raggedy Hayward decided to pay us a couple of visits throughout the course of this episode. But first, I do want to put some respect. I enjoyed the Vision pun that he gave to Agent Wu. He's still trash, okay? He's still not seeing the pearly gates, but I just wanted to give him, you know, I love me a good pun, you guys. But he ends up having, you know, Agent Wu arrested. He's trying to get him to join his side. And he was just like, I didn't call my friends in Quantico. They finna show up in an hour. But Hayward called his bluff and threw him in a little jail where, you know, basically he ended up picking himself out and actually calling his homies to come and help save him or whatever the heck was actually going to happen. But during all of this, we go back to Agatha and Scarlet, who's going back and forth. And basically Agatha is just like, hey, you are supposed to destroy the world. You don't know what you are. And I was like, girl, don't none of us know who she is because y'all keep changing it every episode. But I'm going to let that slide too. But this is when we see Dottie. This is when it's revealed, you know, Agatha removes Dottie from Wanda's control. And basically to show her, like, you've been literally torturing these people for weeks, however long that you've been you started the hex with Westview. So essentially, we see her saying, like, I just want to see my kid. Like, can you just let me hold my kid? Like, you can do whatever you want to do. Another lady's like, hey, just tell my husband, like, don't come back here. I don't want any of this to happen to him. So we're starting to see the implications, or really the effects of Wanda actually starting to see what she has been doing to these people the entire time without her necessarily knowing what they've actually been going through. Because in her mind, she thought that, oh, yeah, just been chilling in a nice dream. She was like, no, Beesh, we've been having the same nightmares that you've been having this whole time. What are you, like, how you put a spell on us and you don't know what you actually doing to us. But we see that it's revealed that, you know, who Ralph Bonner is, how he has the necklace that Agatha was using to control him to do the evil bidding. But I did love seeing the kids. I do want to say, like, the kids in this season were absolutely fantastic. I love seeing them, you know, try to figure out what is going on with their mother, even though she told them to stay in the house. But you know, kids don't listen. I was okay that they didn't follow or heed to their parents' instructions during the course of this episode. But I thought it was really cute when the kids went to go basically save them. But also too, as we're seeing the town folks starting to confront her about what has been happening to them, she puts them in a chokehold. And I said, now sis, I understand that you were upset and you have been going through a lot of things, but you can't just choke these people because they're rightfully upset with you. They know your man died, okay? But also too, they got their own families to take care of and look after. So I was just like, girl, you can't be doing all of this with them. I didn't understand the issue that we were having. But I was like, violence is not the way, even though they were probably trying to kill you. I don't know what they thought they was going to do either. But I just said, violence is never the way, Wanda. So Agatha is basically, she's playing on her emotions, like heroes don't torture people. And I was like, well, she has a point. I know she's the villain, but I mean, I'm just saying. But the babies came to saying today, they said, hey, you're not going to lay down one hand on my mama. So back up, okay? Just mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business. If you got that reference, great. If you didn't, it's okay. But we see that when she gets a moment of clarity and she wants to let all of the residents out of Westview, she's quickly reminded by Agatha that you can't save them because you're going to let your kids and your husband die at the same time. So now she's, you know, at this crossroads on what does she do? She has to clean up her mess, but she's going to lose the one thing or the two things that she wanted, the good things that came out of all of this. So we realize, so we see that she ends up closing the hex back, but not before Raggedy Hayward and his little military people, I almost called them hoes. Get your life together, Sharonda. But they come in and just basically just add into the chaos of what is happening throughout the course of this episode. But I love when the family teamed up and they were about to fight everybody. It was giving me Incredibles vibes. I know it probably wasn't supposed to give that to me, but you know, you probably thought about that as well. But also too, it's interesting this fight between Vision, Hex Vision, Color Vision versus White Vision. Tell me what you thought about it, but for me, I was loving them going back and forth throughout the course of the episode. But when he got him on the technicality, when he outsmarted White Vision, I was like, I felt like that was a little bit too easy. But I do like the implications that it has after when we see him saying, I am Vision. And like after he gave him his memories back and he just disappeared. So I was like, so is her other like fake baby daddy? Like, is he out there? Like, can she go be with him? It's just questions that I had that I needed answers to, but I know I'm not going to get the answers to them and I should just let this go. But just let me know what your theories are because everyone else likes theorizing. Let me know what you think is going to happen with White Vision now that he knows the memories and the emotions that you know, the Vision with the child. I don't even know how to talk about it. Is it the real Vision? Because it's technically his body. I don't know. I got a headache just thinking about it. But also too, we see that Raggedy Hayward come in and he was really finna shoot these kids. I mean, my man pulled the gun up, then Wanda want to be Captain, not Wanda, Monica want to be Captain Save-A-Ho, go stand in front of the kids and take the bullets. And I'm like, does Monica know at Spectrum, like, what her powers are? Does she just feel them? Or does she just knows what to do, you know? It's just instinct, the superhero instinct that she has. I don't know. But I was just like, you doing a lot for a woman that's repeatedly abused you this entire season. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later because I have some thoughts on that as well. But Darcy comes to save the day after he didn't kill the kids or try to kill the kids. But the kids is like, I don't need nobody help. I can stop bullets with this little Matrix thing. I know I shouldn't say Matrix because they are superheroes themselves. But what's a gal to do? So Raggedy Hayward then tries to run away because that's what raggedy people do. They just run and instead of trying to accept responsibility for their actions. And so then our friend Darcy comes in and saves the day, hits his raggedy behind saying, hey, see you in prison. And I was like, thank you, Darcy, okay? Because I needed that. I was totally happy with that entire scene. But then we see that, you know, Scarlet learns very quick on her feet. Essentially, she recreates a trial that Agatha was based upon, that Agatha was put on by the other witches in Salem before she took their powers. And so I was like, okay, girl, look at you getting your own little evil optical illusion. Okay, I see you, boo. But then it like went left real quick, and I was like, see, sis, you don't really know your powers yet. You can't be doing all of this. I was here for the first half, but then Agatha basically turned it against her with the whole, they start calling her the Harbinger of Chaos and all of this stuff. And so essentially, Agatha wants her power. This is what Agatha has been behind the entire time. She wants her power so she can become more powerful herself. And so then when Wanda keeps hitting her and stuff, I was like, now sis, like, I know you see what I see. I know you see she's trying to take your power. So I'm just a little confused as to why you're falling into this trap. But I was like, okay, you did hit her with the runes and stuff. You can't give no power no more. I said, girl, look at you taking notes from the Fourth Wall episode when she did the same thing to you. But we see that she ends up draining her of all of Agatha's power. She takes it upon herself. Then we see the new little Scarlet Witch outfit. I said, girl, you look so good. Your hair curly and everything. I was totally here for this. But Agatha was just like, no, you don't know what you've done. I was like, Agatha, no, none of us know what's actually going on right now. But I'm loving seeing her take you down, even though I thought she was a very good villain. So she ends up taking care of her, and she turns her into the nosy neighbor to ensure that Agatha doesn't disrupt anyone again. But I wasn't really sure where she left her. Did she just let her roam through Westview as the nosy neighbor? I was a little confused by that. So maybe you guys let me know in the comment section what you thought eventually happened to Agatha after she left her. But I thought it was super cute. You know, when they go together as a family to, you know, as she's going to take the hex away from the town of Westview and set everything back to how it was supposed to be. But I love when they have that conversation and she tells them, like, thanks for choosing me to be your mom. I was like, oh my gosh, this is too much. Don't take the kids from us. But I love, because it kind of brought me back into, there's something a television mom would say, there's something you would hear on a TV sitcom. So I just really love that. But also too, she confirms that, you know, Vision is a part of her. She that the Mind Stone is a part of her. That's how she was able to bring him out. And when she's telling him, you're my sadness and my hope. Okay? But mostly you're my love. I felt that. I said, I want somebody to say, I don't want nobody to say that I'm their sadness, but the hope and like, mostly you're my love. Those parts I would definitely want somebody to say. And then we see that, you know, they basically say goodbye and it's just a lot. It was very, like, at its heart, when we focus on Wanda and Vision, the love that they have for each other, and the show does such a good job on hitting on the emotional beats. I think that's one of the things that they've always been consistent about throughout the course of the whole season. But having to see Wanda again say goodbye to Vision, but also to this time to say goodbye to her children, it just hits even deeper knowing everything that she's been through. But after all of that happens and he basically goes away, he said, we ain't gonna say goodbye. We're just gonna say hello again someday. And she come back, and then the townspeople, like, they ready to to go in on her again. I was like, nah, y'all just got choked out by her. I know you're upset, but you're not going to be able to stop her. So just let this girl go on about her day. But the part that the writers are not seeing the pearly gates over is when Monica says to her, they'll never know what you sacrificed for them. I said, sis, you know why they're not going to remember? Because she was literally torturing them, okay? For weeks, if not months, okay? She was torturing these people. They were literally having nightmares filled with agony, pain, grief, okay? So no, they're not going to forget, and they don't care what she sacrificed because they had to sacrifice being away from their friends and family. I understand what the intention was for this, that Wanda had to be the bigger person and give up her family yet again in order to save everyone in the town of Westview, and that's a huge sacrifice. Because if it were up to me, I would just like, okay, well, this was our plot of land anyway. I would just put a hex around my house so I can kick it with my kids and my boo thing whenever I felt like it. But I guess she just wanted to be the bigger person. I could never do it. But I knew what they were going with the line, but I was just like, Monica, I mean, she still tortured all these people. Like, come on, girl. Sometimes just keep stuff to yourself. But finally, Wanda apologized to Monica. Hey, girl, sorry I've been beating your ass the whole course of this season. Sorry about that. And she's like, it's okay. I said, but Monica, it's not okay. You should just took that apology, but you always want to be kept safe whole and say everybody else over yourself because you don't want to process your own pain, grief, and trauma. So I'm just going to let that one slide again. But I did give a side eye like, she should have been apologized to you, okay? Before she even said goodbye to her family, she should have apologized to you for being your ass the whole season. But that's a whole nother story. So, I thought it was hilarious that as soon as them sirens came, Wanda was like, oh, I'm out. And then she just flew away. And then we're taken to a post-credit scene where Raggedy Hayward is being arrested, finally. And then we see Agent Wu giving orders, and then one of the agents asks Monica to come with her, and then she ends up being a Skrull, and she basically says, like, one of your mother's friends told me to come check on you, and essentially he wants to meet you up there, basically space. So I'm assuming that's going to transition us into Captain Marvel 2, which is Nia DaCosta is directing. And then the second post-credit scene is we get to see Wanda. She's out in the country. It looks like it was that same cabin that they had the funeral at, or this just could be another place because I'm confusing it with, you know, what's the raggedy purple dude name? Literally the whole villain. I can't even think of his name. I can't even believe this. I can't even think of his name. But the one that had the Infinity Gauntlet, I can't believe I can't think of this raggedy man's name. But you guys know who I'm talking about. It'll come to me as soon as I get done recording this video. But it is what it is. And then we see that at the same time where she's going to fix some tea, we see Scarlet is astroplaning and doing something else at the same time, going through the book, trying to find answers, trying to study, you know, what is happening to her, what power does she absorb, what is this prophecy they're saying she's the one that's supposed to destroy the world, and then it just essentially goes off. But for me, how I felt about the season finale, I actually like this episode, and I think it's because we had so many filler episodes before that I was able to actually appreciate this because I just let go of all those expectations of wanting to see cameos and all these other properties be brought into the Marvel Universe, that now that they have control of them all, when you just let go of the expectations, I was actually able to enjoy this episode. And because we had so much action and the family actually being together, I really liked it. But I think they've always done such a fantastic job with the emotional beats. The acting was superb. I love Katherine Hahn as Agatha. I think she gave the character even more than I could have seen on screen. Because I think if you would have told anyone, oh, we're going to have Agatha Harkness in this, they're going to be like, sis, what? Like, no. But I think she did the damn thing. But yeah, I don't know where we're going to go after this. They call it the series finale, so I don't know if that means we're not getting a season 2. But I'm just ready for Falcon and Winter Soldier. But overall, I thought it was a good episode. It gave me everything that I had been wanting for the past couple of weeks. So I was fine after I just let all of the theories out of the door. But those are pretty much my thoughts on episode 9 of WandaVision, the series finale. As always, my name is Sharronda from Pay or Wait, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again,